reflection of the week is keep trying, mama. Go in. Don't give up. Trust the process. I know it's easier said than done. I am new to this. I have been in a limbo for about 10 months where I'm making moves for something to happen. That thing is going to happen by God's grace, but it's not happened. And you're making loads of little steps. And I've been in that limbo with there's multiple goals, multiple accomplishments, multiple events that will happen at a time. But until those things happen, it's all just sort of baby steps until that thing happens. If you are like a goal collector, sometimes it's like you don't feel like you're doing anything or anything has been achieved until the end point. And I'm really learning to take in every step and respect the process, trust it, and give myself flowers throughout. I had an epiphany this week, I would say. I was journaling, reflecting, but I was really reflecting. I was like, okay, you know when you're like updating your iPhone and you've got the bar that's loading and it moves so slowly that you don't know it's moving. So sometimes you'll like put your finger there to see if the bar touches your finger, and then that's how you know, okay, it's moving. It's just so slow, I can't tell. That is essentially what has been happening. It's like I'm waiting for the bar to be full, but it's moving so slowly. I'm like, nothing's happening. I'll have those breakdowns once in a while. I'm like, nothing's happening, nothing's moving, it's not working. So I had to sit down, and I think this is the importance of something that I did at the beginning of the year, was write down all my goals for the end of 2024, and then I broke them into quarters because I knew that a lot of my goals would be achieved at the end of the year, and breaking it down into quarters allowed me to celebrate myself within the year and not just be waiting. So I had like my Q1 goals, tick, Q2 goals, tick, and it's like now you're in the Q3. So just looking back at what I have achieved and being proud and being happy. But then also I had to relax. I was like, okay, it's great. You've achieved Q1, Q2, Q3 goals, whatever, you're on track. It's great. You know this thing's going to happen. So what is the issue? Why do you need, like, it's great that it's a tool that works, and I'm sure it will work for most people, looking back and realizing that you've hit the mini milestones before the major milestones. So you're on track. You're definitely going to hit it. But I was like, hold on. I thought we're meant to be walking by faith and being truly delusional this year. So something's not adding up. Why do you keep having these spikes where you're like, I'm not doing enough, it's not good, I'm not walking in my purpose? What is that? And it's just lack of faith. It's realizing that it's lack of faith in myself, and again having to delve deeper into where that is coming from. Is it for you? Or do you feel like you're trying to prove yourself to someone? A lot of the time, the major goals, the final product is what everyone sees, right? The little movements up until that major goal, people don't see those. They're not shared publicly, either because they wouldn't get it until without context, and you need to see the bigger picture, or you just don't think it's worth sharing, whatever. So I was like, is it because the major goals people will see you want, is it because of that? And guys, check yourself, because if you've come from a place where you feel like you have to prove your worth, your talents, your successes to people, and you're still operating in that space, you will never be satisfied. The people you're trying to prove yourself to don't give a heck. They didn't care about you then, and not going to care about you now that you've accomplished these things. They may pretend to, because it may now be cool to, or it might not make sense to hate on you as hard as they did because everyone can see who you're becoming. But deep down, they don't care, and you should not give a heck either. When you realize that your purpose is your own, like the line that you're on, the journey that you're on, what you achieve is yours. There's no competition. You don't have to look at somebody else's purpose, because it's not your purpose is yours. Their purpose is not yours. So how can you be competing? You're a 100-meter runner and you're comparing yourself to someone who does 400 meters. It's different races, completely different things. You're always going to be in your own lane. You have your USP. You have your God-given purpose on this earth. There's no need to compare. When you start to realize that, it quietens the noise and it becomes less of a race, and it's just about achieving your steps towards your purpose. And if there's no comparison, if you're not racing anyone, it takes the stress out of it. It just becomes your life as it should be. Look at your vision board, look at your whiteboard, wherever your board is that is stuck, or your notes that has got everything down. Look and remember who you are. You've got this, guys. Oh, I didn't even intro. I just went straight into telling people off. Welcome to the big space. You guys listen to Shannon Sharp's interview with Marlon Wayne. I have always been a big fan of the Wayans family. That I honestly top 5 families in the industry, because not only are they so successful, they're so humble, and I really feel like it comes from obviously being so grounded. If you listen to the interview, he speaks about how they grew up and everything, but it's not even just that. It's like they know who they are. Like there was multiple times he referenced saying it didn't taste like Wayne. They know what they bring to the table. No one can shake them. They've honed their craft so well that they know exactly what they bring, who they are, what their USP is. Yes, a lot of people do comedy. They're not the only comedians. They're not the only comedic family, but they know what their comedy is, what their USP is, what their worth is, and it's shown through all the stories he's told. How many opportunities they gave up because people were trying to play with their worth, trying to give them less than what they were owed, or them being able to reject these deals because they knew exactly what they were worth and what they brought to the table, and they knew without them project would not work. Prime example, the Scary Movie project. I used to In Living Color. I loved In Living Color. Obviously, I wasn't born when it was out, but I watched reruns. Stepping away from In Living Color, which like Keenan created, things flopping after they left. Even how he was saying it would flop, it wasn't like in a big-headed way. It was just factually that when you took us away, it doesn't work because we bring what we know we bring, and that's like it's just very clear as a family. They knew and know what their purpose is. They don't use other people to measure their success. So I think that's a great example of what I've been talking about earlier, of just truly knowing your purpose, so that things like numbers, goals, they're there. You're happy to achieve them, but they don't define you, because regardless, you know what you bring to the table. You know what your worth is. You know your purpose.